stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with palm. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And now we'll give it over to Chaplain Tim Spillman with the American Racing Ministries for our invocation.
Can we all pray? Father God, we thank you once again for all of your blessing and all of your love that you give to each and every one of us. We thank you, Lord, that we live in a country where we can assemble like this in freedom because of all the veterans and all the military that are standing around this world and on our shore to keep that freedom for each and every one of us. And Lord, we ask you to bring them all home safe very soon. We thank you for all the sponsors that come along to help make all this possible. We thank you for Indianapolis Raceway Park and Lucas Oil that help us so much with everything that we say and do. We ask you now, Father, to bless our drivers, crews, officials, and all of these great fans. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And if you could all please remain standing and remove your hats as Samantha Russell sings our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Well, with all of that said and done, I think we are finally ready to get this show on the road. We're ready to go racing here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, so let's get this call up to Rob Howden with Road to Indy TV.
Thank you so much as we get set to go racing here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, coming right in to the opening ceremonies for tonight's event. Great to see the fans working their way up into the seats here at this fantastic 5/8 mile racetrack, and as we know, getting things underway ahead of the USAC Silver Crown and Midget races with two events of the Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. The Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship to start things off with the Freedom 75, followed by the Freedom 90 for the drivers in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship presented by Cooper Tires. My name's Rob Howden, the voice of this Road to Indy. Thrilled to be here once again as we get set to go racing. The crews starting to work their way out of the paddock area, the outside of turn number 1 and 2, and we'll bring them down onto the pit lane before we roll out 17 drivers getting set to go here in USF 2000. And again, excited with what should be a really strong event. Last couple of years have been action-packed in this category for sure. We have had green to checker races both in 2020 and 2021, and we are looking forward to that once again. Green flag racing has been the order of the day. Both times we've been here over the last couple of years. We've seen side-by-side racing early on and some really aggressive side-by-side mano-a-mano action for race wins in both USF 2000 and Indy Pro. A very interesting couple of days, as you all know, as we were able to actually find a window yesterday between that precipitation to get two 30-minute practice sessions in for both categories. We also did single car, 2-lap qualifying as well to set the grids here for today. And I think all of us kind of sitting back wondering what was going to happen. We knew we had that about a 2-hour window of rain that was going to come through the area here in the early afternoon. We were able to get a practice session in for each of our categories. So the drivers have cleared out the cobwebs from last night as well. And we will go racing here momentarily. Again, drivers in USF 2000, if you have been here at this Carb Night Classic before, you know this is where Renus VK got his start. Oliver Askew, so many of the young drivers, Spencer Piggott included, who have worked their way up through the entire program started here. Kyle Kirkwood won as well. We'll see Kyle make his first start in the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday, but he started his road to the Indy journey with our program, winning the championship at USF 2000, the championship at Indy Pro, and of course, as we all know, the championship last year in the Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires as well. He'll be with AJ Foyt Racing, and everybody in the RTI paddock will be cheering for Kyle Kirkwood, the young American from Jupiter, Florida, when he hits the racetrack on Sunday for the greatest spectacle in racing. Kyle, a winner here. Back in USF 2000, and we've seen many winners here over the last couple of years that are working their way up the ranks, including Christian Rasmussen, 2 times a winner, currently racing for Andretti Autosport in the Indy Lights series. But this is where they all start. Rasmussen, Kirkwood, Askew, all scoring wins in this USF 2000 program, championships in USF 2000, and with that coming, of course, a significant scholarship to be able to move up into the Indy Pro 2000 category. And that really is the calling card of the Road to Indy. It's that opportunity for the champions to continue their racing dream, continue that dream to get to 16th in Georgetown and get a chance to run at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who will it be in this field of 17 drivers who you'll be talking about in 4 or 5 years as running in the Indy 500? We'll see who it is. 17 drivers set to go. As I said, we'll get those drivers rolling here momentarily. They're back in the pit lane, but I'll take the opportunity right now to go through the 17 drivers who are set to take to the track here today. Again, this is the Cooper Tires Freedom 75, a 75-lapper for the best young drivers in open-wheel racing here in North America. So let's get started. As I said, we'll start with the driver starting back in the 17th position. One of the things you'll hear as we talk about it, a very international field. As the driver starting in the 17th position, the rookie from New Zealand in the number 90 from Auckland, New Zealand, actually lives now in Indianapolis, Indiana for the summer to race. Jacob Douglas in the number 90 for Exclusive Autosport will start his first oval race from 17th. Row 8 will have 14-year-old Danny Dzelski, the rookie in the number 8 machine. Dzelski out of Belmont, North Carolina for J. Howard Driver Development. He'll start 16th alongside a driver who does have some oval experience. Trey Burke in the number 63 for Dro Dueling Autosport with Kurbag and Janian. Burke starting 15th in that number 63. He is out of Alvin, Texas. Row 7 has Jorge Garcias in the number 9, the driver to Guadalajara, Mexico for J. Howard Driver Development. Garcias in that number 9 starting in the 14th position, while on the inside of that row, starting 13th at Avon, Indiana, Jackson Lee for Cape Motorsports in that number 2 machine. The IU Cancer Center Browning Chapman machine. We'll see what he's able to do. Not the qualifying he wanted, had a tough second lap, but we'll watch him work his way from the inside of row number 7. Row 6 has number 11 on the outside. That is Dylan Christie out of Princeton, New Jersey on the Stilo-sponsored D-Force racing machine. So it'll be Christie starting 12th alongside the young rookie out of Naperville, Illinois. Christian Weir in the number 32 for Turn 3 Motorsports will start 11th. Field working their way down the pit lane now as we get ready to go. Time to jump into the top 10 now. 5th row on the outside. Out of California in that number 5. Huntington Beach is home in the Touchstone Helicopters Molecule Sports Cape Motorsports machine. That will be Nikki Hayes, the rookie, in the number 5. Inside of that row in the number 92 for Billy Fraser, another driver out of New Zealand. Second place in points coming into the event. Had some issues in qualifying. I would keep my eye on that machine. The Giltrap Corpay number 92 for Exclusive Autosport. Billy Fraser will be moving forward from the 9th position. Row number 4 on the outside, Spike Kohlbecker, the number 33 out of St. Louis, Missouri, in the Tier Point KHS R Solution True Title Company machine. It's Kohlbecker for Turn 3 Motorsports in the number 33, starting 8th. And on the inside, multi-time SCCA Runoffs National Champion, it is the driver of the number 19 for Legacy Autosports, Simon Sykes, out of Atlanta, Georgia, in the Metalloid Sturgis finishing Group 6 gear machine. Moving now into the top 3 rows, outside of row number 3, third-generation driver, the name, of course, known around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He is the grandson of one of the most impressive drivers ever, the legendary Parnelli Jones. I'm talking about Jagger Jones, the rookie driver here. He's got some experience on the oval, running stock cars. He's also a winner already this year. And Jagger Jones in that number 3 for Cape Motorsports will be starting on the outside of row 3. Inside of that row for D-Force Racing in the number 10 from Oka, Quebec, Canada, the Canadian who won last year at Road America. He'll start 5th today. That's Thomas Neveu starting P5. We'll move now to row number 2. On the outside, from Phoenix, Arizona, in the number 23 machine. The car sponsored by Radford Racing School and Metalworks. For Pabst Racing, Jace Denmark, already a winner this year. Denmark starting in 4th. Inside of that row, young driver who's been in the spotlight quite a bit. He's got the support from Roger Penske, a full season budget now secured. 2 times a winner already this year. Miles Rowe in the number 22 machine out of New York, New York. For Pabst Racing, we'll start on the inside of row number 2. 17 drivers in the field. We'll put 2 on the front row off pole. Best starting spot for the driver out of Atherton, California. For D-Force Racing, Bajoy Garg in the number 12 starting on the outside pole position. But a driver that they will be chasing heading into the opening corner. Runner-up last year in the series. Your defending race winner on the pole last year as well, and he put it down in qualifying. Another pole position for Michael D'Orlando in the number 4 out of Hartsdale, New York, in the Focused Project Management Cape Motorsports machine. Watch for D'Orlando to be the driver who leads as we come to the green flag. We're about set to go here right now, getting ready to fire things up. And again, looking at the drivers ready to fire. It is time to get things underway, folks. Joining me here in the booth to give me the call to fire the engines from the IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center, Dr. Kelvin Lee.
Thank you. On behalf of the tremendous team at the IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center, our wonderful patients and their families, drivers, start your engines.
That is it. I like it. With passion. Thank you, Dr. Lee. There's the call to fire the engines, and indeed, they have done so. Engines coming to life on pit lane. It is time to go racing. 17 drivers, many of them their first time going racing here on the oval. We'll take 75 laps around this very challenging track. You'll see the difference of this particular facility, unlike what you'll see with the midget cars and the Silver Crowns. The apex way up top. They'll run the high side all the way around this racetrack, but to be good, but to be able to get it done, to be able to pass lap traffic, your car still has to work on the bottom. That's going to be one of the biggest challenges you'll see for the drivers in this particular category. They have to be able to handle the bottom part of the racetrack, set the pick, set up that pass of a lap car. Crucial, as you know, the spotters on the very top of the tower, the eyes of all the drivers here right now. So indeed, spotters and drivers need to be absolutely in touch, in communication, to be able to get it all said and done. We're ready to go racing here. It's been an interesting day. We wondered if we were going to go there or not. Would we get dry? Would we be racing late? We weren't even quite sure whether we were going to be racing late into the evening. I like the time right now, 8:39 local. We will say hello to those of you tuning in on the Road to Indy TV app or on the Road to Indy TV YouTube channel. Thrilled to be able to bring you live coverage of the event here today, as we always do on Road to Indy TV. Time to go racing, folks. Pace car is headed down, and we are about to get things underway. Michael D'Orlando on the inside, Bajoy Garg on the outside. First 4 rows, tuck it up nicely. Row 5, thinking about it as well with Billy Fraser and Nikki Hayes. We're out of turn number 4. It is time to go racing in the Freedom 75. Green, green, green. They race it down into turn number 1. Things pretty clean so far. D'Orlando call it 4 or 5 car lengths as they work their way down the back straightaway. One of the D-Force cars not getting a good run. He'll go to the bottom, pinch to the bottom a little bit. Simon Sykes is there as well. Everybody else trying to dial things in. Green racetrack, of course, after what we saw with the weather, with the rain. So a different facility for the drivers than what they had earlier today. Sykes into the bottom of the track. Here's a good battle here between D'Orlando and Bejoy Gard. Running in that second spot, D'Orlando nicely down the back chute as he now tucks his way to the high side of turn 3 and 4. Great crowd on hand at Indianapolis Raceway Park here this evening. D'Orlando's lead pretty solid here early on. Couple of side-by-side battles further back in 4th and 5th. 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th going side-by-side. That is Jace Denmark and Thomas DeVoe, Jagger Jones and Simon Sykes. These guys are side-by-side deeper in the field. D'Orlando trying to see if he can't run out front. Look at this side-by-side battle. Yeah, this is Jace Denmark alongside Thomas DeVoe. Here comes Jagger Jones to the top side as well to try to make it 3 drivers in that battle. Thomas DeVoe, though, running the bottom. When you do that, it pinches the car. He's going to come back across the top. Here goes Jagger Jones to the bottom. Jones to the inside of the racetrack. That's going to give Denmark a chance to stretch away a little bit here in P4 as Jagger Jones now goes to the bottom. Side by side, the two Tatis USF 22s. The new halo, the new tub of the chassis. And look at that pass getting done. He gets clear, slide job coming out through, goes back to the top of the racetrack to hold the position, move Jagger Jones up into 5th. So it's Michael D'Orlando, the leader right now. Bejoy Gard runs 2nd, Miles Rowe 3rd. Jace Denmark and Jagger Jones rounding out your top 5. 6th is Thomas DeVoe, 7th Simon Sykes, 8th Spike Kohlbecker, 9th Billy Fraser, and 10th is Dylan Christie. Christian Weir runs in 11th, Nicky Hayes in 12th, Jackson Lee 13th, Jorge Garcia's 14th, Trey Burke, Danny Dzelski, and Jacob Douglas rounding out the 17 drivers. I'll tell you though, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, you can't see it on the screen, but they are battling it out nose to tail, side by side as well, so a good fight further back in the pack. Here's Spike Kohlbecker looking at the bottom of Simon Sykes. That is the fight for 7th. Kohlbecker not able to get a good run. Here comes Billy Fraser. Fraser behind him in that Giltrap Corpay exclusive Autosport machine. Fraser's keeping to the top side, trying to get that clean air rolling up over top of the front wing. Not a ton of aerodynamic downforce on these cars, but enough to affect it, of course, here on the oval when you're really relying on balance. Michael D'Orlando out cleanly. We'll put 9 laps in the books this time by. D'Orlando looking to go back-to-back. Winner last year, and to be honest, for Michael D'Orlando, this is exactly what he needs right now. He's had a strong start to the season, actually a better start to the season than he had last year. But for D'Orlando, hasn't had that win. As the runner-up last year, I think he expected he was going to be able to dive in for a race win early. He's been consistent, and that's why coming into the race, he was only 2 points behind Jagger Jones. Actually make it 1 point with the pole position bonus. This is a great fight right now for 7th. This is Simon Sykes in the Legacy Autosport machine on top of the number 19. The bottom, Spike Kohlbecker in the Turn 3 Motorsport with Ignite Autosport machine, trying the bottom side. And right behind them, kind of watching it all happen, is Billy Fraser. I'm not sure he really knows what he wants to do here yet. Some pretty aggressive side-by-side racing. And actually behind them is coming up with Fraser and Christie. There they are there, yeah. There's Billy Fraser in the 92 and Dylan Christie in the 11. They're taking advantage of this side-by-side racing. Neither of these drivers able to run the full fast lap. Oh, back to the bottom. Kohlbecker, aggressive here. Trying to grab 7th from Simon Sykes. He'll go back to the bottom, keep looking. Get that clean air over the wing. Try to force your competitor in that little slight error. Does he try to roll a little too much corner speed, a little too much on the wheel? Can you get him to bobble just a little bit? Not quite. Sykes, a veteran driver, using the top side. Simon Sykes from Atlanta, Georgia. Here comes Fraser, too. He wants to take advantage of this. Leaders pulling away. Michael D'Orlando, Bajoy Garg have a pretty big gap now on Miles Rowe, who runs P3. They'll single file it back up again. You got to think that the 33 of Kohlbecker wanting to maybe take care of the tires a little bit. You are going to see tire degradation through the 75-lap event. You see a little bit of mid-corner oversteer there for the 92 of Billy Fraser. Solid correction, though, as he got the car to transition through. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Spike Kohlbecker, Billy Fraser, and Dylan Christie. D'Orlando leads now by a half a second over Bajoy Garg. Still keying on this scrap right now for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Let's see if Kohlbecker can turn it up again. Spike Kohlbecker in the Tier Point KHS R Solution True Tile Company Tatus, a Turn 3 Motorsport driver. Turn 3 with Ignite Autosport. Ignite, of course, one of the top karting programs in North America right now. The Margay Ignite program. So many young drivers have worked their way through this Ignite program, a spec series that runs all over the country, based out of St. Louis, but racing series all over the country. They have their Ignite major events at big tracks like Daytona and Charlotte. A couple of races at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as well. There's Michael D'Orlando. Let's key back on the leader. Flawless run so far for the young New Yorker. D'Orlando looking to get this championship, potentially move up to Indy Pro 2000 next year. A win here in the Freedom 75 would be massive. Thrust him into the point lead heading to our next event in just 2 weeks' time. The iconic Road America facility will be up next. Here's your next battle. This time for Billy Fraser to potentially put some pressure here on Spike Kohlbecker. Who is taking care of the tires? That's going to be one thing to watch, because when you get to the end of the 75-lapper, drivers who've been running that low line unsuccessfully trying to get an overtake done are going to burn those tires up. Another thing to watch for, of course, will be when does D'Orlando close up to the tail group? And the group at the tail of the field right now, 5 cars. Nicky Hayes, Jorge Garcia, Trey Burke, Danny Nizelski, and Jacob Douglas. They're all running essentially in a train. In fact, Burke and Garcia are now side by side down the back straightaway. Here comes Billy Fraser, though. Fraser still tried the bottom side now on Kohlbecker. Trey Burke almost done with the pass on Garcia as well. That's the gap between first and second down into turn number 1. Dylan Christie closing up with the D-Force Racing, that blue and white machine. Christie out of Princeton, New Jersey. Look at, he's got a lot of pace, a lot of entry speed. The battle further back's wild to watch right now, folks. 13th to 17th are going at it like they're racing for the lead, and they've got actually the leader coming back around. Looks like we may have one driver slowing coming down the back straightaway and coming into pit lane. I think that is going to be Nicky Hayes. Yeah, we got a driver who's pitting in the back part of the racetrack here. So Nicky Hayes into pit lane. There he is, number 5, an issue for Hayes in the Touchstone Helicopters Molecule Sports Machine. Can't see anything visually on the car of Hayes, but electing to come into pit lane. And this is what's going to start dialing things in. We got ourselves a battle for the 7th or 8th spot between Kohlbecker and Billy Fraser. Fraser actually, I thought I was going to say, was it a drive-through? But no. Hayes heading down to his Cape Motorsports teammates and his crew. Here's the fight here between Jorge Garcia and Danny Nizelski, the 2 team members at J. Howard Driver Development. They currently run 14th and 15th. There's Jacob Douglas right behind him. And right there in the white car further back is the leader. 25 laps in, and Michael D'Orlando is getting ready to close up on the tail end of the field. This is where D'Orlando has to go to work, and where Bajoy Garg could potentially make things happen. Garg in the D-Force Racing Machine will try to capitalize on any mistakes made by D'Orlando dealing with lap traffic. Orlando closing right up here now on Jacob Douglas in the exclusive Autosport number 90. He'll go to the low side, thinking about it, going to get a run down the back straightaway. Behind these two drivers you're seeing here, Garcias, there it is right there. This is the tail of the lead group. And this is the first driver to go down the lap as Michael D'Orlando goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Jacob Douglas going to hold his line on top. Great job for Jacob, first-year driver in the series. And there's that first pass being done. Good pick set there by D'Orlando. Garg's got to get by quickly. Michael D'Orlando will try to stretch away here. Jacob Douglas holding that top line. Maybe a half a length down, half a width down. Doesn't want to quite run on the top side. Not super comfortable with the race car. Garg now goes to the bottom. He's trying to get by and gets the job done. The minute you start getting up on some slower traffic in front of you, you're going to lose that air on the front wing. You're not going to get a responsive turn in. It's going to be just a little bit pushy into the corner. Garg still not able to get that pass done. He's side by side with Douglas, who is holding his line cleanly. Great job by Jacob Douglas. Miles Rowe closing up at the 22 as well. As D'Orlando now lining up Danny Dzelski. Great experience for everybody involved in this race, but huge for the drivers getting a chance to kind of work their way through lap traffic here. It is not easy on this racetrack. You really got to commit to the bottom line. I said earlier at the top of the show, Dzelski with a bit of a overcorrection there as I think maybe got caught out a little bit by D'Orlando, kind of rolling back up to the top line. Now it's time for Garcias. That is the 4 of D'Orlando and the number 9 of Jorge Garcias, the Mexican for Jay Howard Driver Development. And Bajoy Garg is right there. Oh, dial this one up. Just coming to the halfway point. Just a little ways away. 75 lap event. And Garg trying to get by Garcias. This is going to allow D'Orlando to pull away a little bit here. He dives it down to the bottom. You got to watch when you do that because the car's going to want to rotate. Good run here for Garg, but here comes Miles Rowe in the Pabst Racing 22. Rowe comes in just 5 points behind Jagger Jones. 4 drivers within 5 points of the top of USF 2000. That's how close this championship is. Rowe, big run down the back chute. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack as well. Garcias will hold on top. Again, relying on your spotters to work together to let them know that you're coming through. Clears them on the exit of turn number 4. It's a busy day for these young drivers. Anywhere from 14 to 19 years of age, 19, 20 years of age. All trying to follow in the footsteps of Kyle Kirkwood, Oliver Askew, Christian Rasmussen, who've won those championships moving up. Trey Burke, the next driver on the lead lap. 13 drivers still in the lead lap as we're just coming to the halfway point now. 36 laps down, 37 to go. Back through 3 and 4. All in all, textbook race out of Michael D'Orlando up front. Everything you'd want out of a driver starting on pole. Get out, a little bit of a clean run, push hard early, build a gap, manage the tires, be decisive. You're trying to overtake those lap cars further back. Jace Denmark and Jagger Jones now working their way by Garcias and Dzelski. Still some pretty hectic work to be done by those drivers in the top 10. They're going to work through those at the tail of the grid. Trey Burke up next, I believe, for Michael D'Orlando, who puts lap 39 in the books here now. Blue flag, of course, being displayed at start-finish. I chatted quite a bit with Michael D'Orlando before the race here, as he was a guest of Kevin Lee on the Trackside Show as we had the fundraiser for Homes for Our Troops at 5:30 this afternoon down outside the grandstands. And Michael had a chance to talk to Kevin and myself just about how important this race is for him. He just knows he's starting from the pole, knows he's got a good place to go. He'll go down to the bottom now of the 63 of Trey Burke, and Trey getting off a little bit there mid-corner. Really nicely done by Trey Burke. No need to fight it out. He'll tuck back in. He's got enough of a gap that he can let these guys go. Guard gets through cleanly, though, still only a half a second. The one thing you'd ask a leader to do, and this is no slight on D'Orlando, is, hey, if you're trying to get through lap traffic, be the better guy to do it and get through more cleanly. That said, once you lap a driver, he doesn't put up quite as much of a fight for the guy behind you, right? He's trying to stay on the lead lap. Stay on the lead lap. We might get a yellow. Keep fighting. Well, the minute you go a lap down and that second place driver comes up, you're not going to fight quite as hard because you're already a lap down. Yeah, I got to hold on. I got to take care of the race car. So probably a little bit easier to pass for the 12 of Guard, the 22 of Rowe, and then Denmark and Jones, the drivers who they're going by later, already down that lap. So the fight will always continue. Billy Fraser still scrapping it out with Spike Kohlbecker for 8th. That's awesome. In fact, Billy Fraser side by side with him coming out of turn 2 now. Here's Guard. Here's the road to the inside of the 63 of Trey Burke as well. Trey Burke. Rowe now sliding by. We got some good racing side by side further back. The 10 of Thomas DeVoe trying to get by Garcias. Billy Fraser keeps fighting. Oh, Fraser high coming out of turn number 2. Loses a bit of it there. He may lose a spot. I think Billy Fraser's going to lose one to Dylan Chris. Fraser's still on the top side. Fraser on the top side here now. Spike Kohlbecker almost tosses it away as he's trying to get by Jacob Douglas. Yeah, let's stay with this shot here. This is some drivers trying to go put him a lap down. Fraser to the top side, had some trouble in 2. A lap ago, got up high into the marbles. Dylan Christie not quite able to capitalize. The 92 still running the top. He'll go back to the bottom and try to pull some of that air away. Fraser up behind his teammate Jacob Douglas. Can he capitalize? Potentially use a pick from his teammate to slide by. That's the fight right now for 7th, 8th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is 7th place runner Simon Sykes trying to get by Jorge Garcias and Danny Dzelski. Really striking livery on the car for Simon Sykes, the Legacy Autosport Metalloid machine. And again, that is Kohlbecker to the bottom of Jacob Douglas, who does not want to give it up. Douglas running the high side. Let's see if Fraser's able to get a run here. Douglas still on top. Fraser's going to go to the bottom. You got to expect the teammate will give him a little help coming through here. Fraser quick hands. That car got lots of ugly on the outside of coming out of turn number 4 for Billy Fraser. He's trying to keep the car on the bottom. When you're pinched down and you got a lot of wheel on it, you're really kind of getting it down to the inside. That rear can step out. You better have quick hands. Kohlbecker doing a tremendous job in 8th. Where he started, that's where he's running. A lot of these drivers kind of running where they started. 49 laps down. Joy Gart continues to chase. So there's the 2 exclusive Autosport cars. Good run for Billy Fraser. Solid experience getting laid down here for Jacob Douglas. Fraser, though, he's trying to go by one of the lap cars as well. He's going to go to the bottom. Again, that's those drivers trying to get by Jorge Garcias in the number 9 Jay Howard driver development machine. Fraser's had lots to do. Started 9th, runs 9th. A lot more work than he expected, I think, for running P9. He gets through cleanly there. Down the back straightaway. And onto the front chute now come our leaders, Michael D'Orlando for Joy Gard. In the middle of them is the 5 of Nicky Hayes, who's gone back onto the racetrack. He's essentially slotted into the P3 spot on the racetrack between 2nd and 3rd. Garg and Miles Rowe. Here's 1st and 2nd. 23 laps remain. About 7 minutes of racing, maybe 8. Joy Garg, career run for the driver out of California. Lives now in Atherton, California, in the D-Force Racing Machine. Garg, really impressive here this weekend, leading his D-Force squad, running P2. Teammate Thomas DeVoe in the 6th position, Dylan Christie in 10th. All three of the D-Force cars in the top 10. Garg closing up a little bit here. Yeah, Bajoy Garg's cutting it down. It was 4/10 of a second last time by. Call it .396. Bajoy Garg chipping away at it as he saved the tires for the final push. 20 laps to go. 20 laps remaining. Indy Pro 2000 will roll out for their 90-lapper after this. And we got ourselves a battle for the lead now as Garg closes up to within .386, another 100. I'm going to say 6 car lengths potentially down the back straightaway. Is D'Orlando cooling the tires a little bit here. Live coverage of the Freedom 75 here on Road to Indy TV, Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park, 5/8 mile banked oval here, part of the Carb Night Classic. Just 2 days ahead of the Indianapolis 500. USF 2000 Indy Pro, USAC Midgets and Silver Crown on the docket for the evening. A little late on the start as we had some precipitation come through the area. We knew it was coming. We're thrilled to be on the racetrack here and presenting the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series for you. My name is Rob Howden, the voice of the Road to Indy. Looking forward to the Indy Pro 2000 races coming up here as well. D'Orlando stretching out a little bit more on that last lap. But Joy Garg keeps digging. Miles Rowe third, just 1.7 seconds separate your top three. Rowe wants to see Garg engage. Get in there, start battling. Get to the bottom of the racetrack, try to make that pass. You guys go side by side, I'm coming in. So no one's ever accused Miles Rowe of being too timid. There's an opening, an opportunity. Miles Rowe's going for it. This guy wants to win every race he gets into the race car with. So look for him to challenge if they do start battling. Chase Denmark runs in fourth. Jagger Jones fifth. Thomas DeVoe sixth. Seventh is Simon Sykes. Eighth, Spike Kohlbecker ahead of Billy Fraser. 10th is Dylan Christie, 11th Christian Weir, 12th Jackson Lee, 13th Trey Burke, 14th Danny Dzelski, 15th Jorge Garcia, 16th Jacob Douglas, and 17th Nicky Hayes back on pit lane as they try to decide on what the issue is with that machine. Dylan Christie now trying to get by Garcia and Dzelski, able to kind of clear. So he's well back. That's going to give Billy Fraser an opportunity to focus forward here again, as he is still not done with Spike Kohlbecker. 13 laps to go, lap 62 in the books. And in fact, they're all right there now. Sykes, Kohlbecker, and Fraser run a nose to tail, and Fraser's back down to the bottom. Down the back straightaway, Fraser making the move into turn number 3. That's the fight right now. That's the best battle we've seen on the racetrack here. Sykes, Kohlbecker. There they are coming on the front straightaway. Kohlbecker going to the bottom, looking to try to get by Simon Sykes. We'll keep an eye on the leaders, but right now that's the best fight. And another issue for Fraser as he chases the car up the track in turn 2 and has lost quite a bit of ground. He'll have to dig that back in as Kohlbecker going to the bottom now. Can Kohlbecker find a way by Simon Sykes? Billy Fraser's got to bring it back in here. He's had a couple of moments up in turn number 2. He's had to catch it. It's got away from a mid-corner and chased the car up the racetrack a little bit. You got to back out of the throttle and pedal it a little before you roll back in. Such a unique discipline to be able to be fast on an oval like this. And I'll tell you, Spike Kohlbecker going to work on Simon Sykes. A couple of second-year drivers. First full season, I think, for Simon Sykes. He's never been able to put together a full season budget We hope to see him for the entire program. He's in a great fight right now. Here comes Billy Fraser back up, and he's going to the high side. Fraser trying the high side around. Oh, they're side by side coming across the line. Fraser to the top. Billy Fraser snuck around the top side, and can he get the job done down the back? He would very likely have a better run. Bottom is tough. Fraser going to the top. No quit in this young Kiwi. What a fight here. 8 to go. And it's Fraser up top. He's going to try to get by, and he does almost. A little bit of contact there. And Billy Fraser gets it done. Fraser to the top side. Can he go to work now on Simon Sykes? That was a strong pass for Fraser to the top of the racetrack. 7 laps to go. The gap still over 0.3 of a second between first and second. But look at this. Fraser's closing up on Simon Sykes now. Sykes trying to get by Danny Nazelski and Jorge Garcias, but Fraser still using that top side. Back to the leaders as there's only 7 laps remaining. 7 laps to go. Back to the leaders here now. 7 laps goes by in an instant. About 2.5 minutes, and we'll call this one done. Can Bejoy Gard get the job done here? 5 to go this time by. Gard looking to the bottom. Look at the back there. That's that creeping black number 22 of Miles Rowe. The Pabst Racing car getting closer. Gard going to the bottom. It's a length. This race is coming to a head here right now. Bejoy Gard. Can he find a way by? Gard to the bottom again. He's making a bid for it. Bejoy Gard to the bottom. How much Cooper tire does he have left? And Miles Rowe ringing his fist saying, let's go. He needs them side by side. Miles Rowe trying to come in. Just 0.7 of a second. Separate your top 3. What a race. D'Orlando pulling a bit here. Gard cooling the tires off. Get a little more air on those front wings. Here comes Rowe. Creeping up into the fight. 3 young Americans ready to battle it out for the win in the Freedom 75. D'Orlando trying to go back-to-back. Won last year for Cape Motorsports en route to second in the championship. Can he get it done? 3 to go this time by. It'll be 2 to go when they come back around. 2 laps remaining. Rowe trying to dig in over the last couple of laps. Gard thinking about his first career road to Indy victory. Can he get it done here at Indianapolis Raceway Park? Man, we've seen some great battling throughout this entire race, but it's going to come down to a head. What does Gard have? D'Orlando running very strongly up top. Gard's going to throw it to the bottom, see if he can't force an issue. White flag flying. Final lap of the Freedom 75. They'll work their way through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Gard not close enough. Is Rowe close enough to take a shot at him? He is not. D'Orlando's going to do this one uncontested. Flag to flag. For Cape Motorsports, the winner of the Freedom 75, Michael D'Orlando. 0.2 of a second, the margin of victory. A flag-to-flag run. Billy Fraser trying to go to the top side. Does he get him in the line? He does. Billy Fraser. Fraser outguns Sykes for 7th at the line. Fraser went to the top side again. What a drive for Billy Fraser as he goes to P7. Fraser running the top side around Simon Sykes. What a drive. Michael D'Orlando, back-to-back jacks here, the Freedom 75, defending his race win for last year. Green to checker for USF 2000. These are talented young drivers who just went 75 laps side by side throughout the entire field, and it's a 0.2 of a second win for Michael D'Orlando for Cape Motorsports. Big win for him on the Focus project management machine. D'Orlando will be thrilled with this one. He needed it. Has not got a win yet this year. He's had a number of drivers scored in victories like Jagger Jones and Miles Rowe and Jace Denmark. He needed a win, and you're going to see the celebration of fitting that kind of relief. Bejoy Gard, best career finish in USF 2000, second. Miles Rowe ends up in 3rd. Here's Michael D'Orlando. He's going on the bars. He's 6'3", ladies and gentlemen. How does he get in there? He's a winner. Little heel click. Michael D'Orlando, big win as the team will meet him. Brendan Puderbach, one of his mechanics there. Give you a full field rundown while they get things underway with our podium presentation. Michael D'Orlando winning by 0.2 of a second over Bajoy Garg. Miles Rowe ends up in third spot. Chase Denmark in fourth. Jagger Jones rounding out the top five. Thomas Naveau in sixth. How about the drive over the last 10 laps? Billy Fraser, outside move on Spike Kohlbecker, then an outside move on Simon Sykes, a drag race to the line, and Fraser outguns him by about 0.03 of a second at the line. Billy Fraser ends up in seventh. Simon Sykes in eighth. Spike Kohlbecker in ninth. Dylan Christie rounding out the top 10. Christian Weir ends up 11th. Jackson Lee in 12th. Trey Burke in 13th. Danny Dzelski 14th. Jorge Garcias 15th. And Jacob Douglas ends up 16th ahead of Nicky Hayes. You can see the excitement for Michael D'Orlando getting that win that he needed. Crucial for him. So big to get victories at this level. Not only for the points and trying to, of course, get that scholarship worth over $350,000 to move to Indy Pro 2000. There's Dominic Cape right there, just celebrated a birthday this past week. Dominic and Nicholas Cape, the legendary team owners, multi-time champions in USF 2000 racing for the last couple of decades. Their shop just here in Brownsburg. But for a young driver like D'Orlando, you got to show that you can win, right? The consistency is amazing, but you want to pepper that consistency with victories to be able to stand on top of the podium. And I know Michael was, I think, getting a little bit frustrated that he had not yet got that win in 2022. Well, move that one out. And as he and I talked about before the race, we go from this event where he won last year and knew he could win this year to his favorite racetrack in the entire circuit, and that's Road America, where we are in a couple of weeks. This guy is going to roll in there with a ton of momentum. There's Dad right there. Proud father rolling in to chat as they weigh our drivers right afterwards. You see Miles Rowe and Bajoy Garg there as well. We've got our podium being brought down here. We'll be able to get our champagne presentation momentarily. There's the congratulations between Miles Rowe and Michael D'Orlando. Michael's brother Nick rolling in there as well. Driver in our USF Juniors program, the series we have that feeds drivers into USF 2000. Happy mother there as well. Sherry D'Orlando. Big celebrations for the driver from Hartsdale, New York, as our USF 2000 teams will work their way back into the paddock. We'll replace them with our Indy Pro 2000 drivers. Podium presentation, of course, ready to go. We've got a number of our guests that are going to help us out, passing out some hardware. Lots of racing for you for this night's Carbonite Classic. Great to have you with us. Part of what is, of course, an unbelievable weekend here, the month of May. Victory lane for drivers in USF 2000 and Indy Pro. Indy Pro is going to just dial things up. More horsepower, more downforce, more tires, more everything. 2 seconds faster around this racetrack. Very close to getting things underway with the presentation of the drivers here, top three. Yeah, D'Orlando's ready to get at it here. We're trying to get to the podium. He's high-fiving with the fans. I love it. All right, folks, we're ready to go here with the podium presentation. I think we have all our drivers here. Let's get things underway, starting with the driver, folks, for Pabst Racing coming home. Third place today, a round of applause for number 22, Miles Rowe. And to present Miles with his trophy, again, one of our guests here on the weekend, Jamie Brinkley. Thank you, Jamie. Miles Rowe, 2 times a winner this year already. Pabst Racing, definitely a championship contender. Let's grab the driver finishing in second. What a run. His career best finish on the road to Indy, finishing in second spot for T-Force Racing. Number 12, Bashoy Garg. And to present Bajoy with his second place hardware, Gordon Chapman. Bajoy chased the leader all race long. Made a fight at it later, but wasn't quite able to get it done in the final circuit. Let's get the guy, though, folks, back-to-back wins here in the Freedom 75. That Winnie that eluded him this year. For Cape Motorsports, the winner, our first victor on the day, Michael D'Orlando. And our trophy presenter for P1, Alan Browning. Number of our guests as part of Kevin and Jackson Lee's program here today. Great to have, again, we had Dr. Kelvin Lee from the IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center joining us for the call to fire. Top three drivers at USF 2000. Every one of these drivers trying to follow in the footsteps of Kyle Kirkwood and Pato Award and Renus VK. All those drivers that have worked their way out of this road to Indy and into the NTT IndyCar Series. Three talented young Americans starting the night off. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Yeah, they're ready for the celebration now, I can guarantee you that. It's been a long day, long couple of days for these guys. All of us, of course. There's the champagne. We're not racing for 2 weeks. Those suits can go to the dry cleaner, or at least into the wash, whatever it may be. Ooh. Champagne down the back. That can't be good. So much great racing for you. A very diverse, of course, lineup of cars. The USAC midgets and Silver Crown cars. Love watching those guys hustle around this 5/8 mile track. If you like what you see, you want to follow the future stars, you're here trackside, all you got to do is download the Road to Indy TV app. All of our events there, live timing, live video, all available on the app. You can also go to the YouTube channel. We stream through our YouTube channel. All our past races, of course, on the Road to Indy TV YouTube channel as well. Looking at the unofficial points right now, Michael D'Orlando will take a 17-point lead into Road America. 45 points to win here. That's big for him. That's a massive lead considering the fact that we only had 5 points separating the top four coming in. D'Orlando's win vaults him to a 17-point lead over Miles Rowe. We'll move Jagger Jones into the third spot, Billy Fraser fourth, and Jace Denmark in fifth. 33 points separating your top five right now. So a huge victory here this evening for Michael D'Orlando. Got drivers in our Indy Pro 2000 category ready to roll out here as well. Again, drivers at USF 2000 anywhere from 14 to 19 or 20 years of age. Indy Pro 2000 that we're seeing rolling out here right now, essentially 16 to normally 22 or 23. We do have a 58-year-old in the field today, Charles Finelli. So if you're out there saying, hey, I'd like to be part of the Road to Indy, you can do it. You may be 58 years of age, but you can do it. Our Indy Pro 2000 drivers rolling off the back right now. You can see them just coming out of the paddock area outside of turn number 2 as we get set to go racing there as well. Let's have a look at the grid as they roll out here. We'll fill you in on the drivers set to go. 15 strong for the Cooper Tires Freedom 90 lapper. Charles Finelli, as I said, just 58 years of age, 58 years young in the number 83, the Fat Boy Racing entry starting in 15th. Row number 7, we'll see Braden Eves in the number 4 for Jay Howard Driver Development. Start on the outside of row 7. Inside from Ireland, Jonathan Brown, his first oval event for Turn 3 Motorsports. Brown on the pole just a couple of weeks ago at the road course at Indianapolis. He'll start that Turn 3 Motorsports car from 13th today. Row 6 has Salvador de Alba on the outside from Mexico. The rookie in the number 6 is head for Jay Howard Driver Development. He'll start 12th. A winner of one of the triple header races at IMS 2 weeks ago. His teammate, Wyatt Prokachik, on the inside starting 11th. Prokachik in that number 5. Wyatt Prokachik turning in his, what I think, career run in the third race at IMS 2 weeks ago. Was really impressive, working his way to the front out of Johnstown, Colorado. Again, Wyatt Prokachik starting in the 11th position. Out of Carmel, Indiana, starting in 10th in the Miller Vinatieri Motorsports with exclusive Autosport entry. It's Jack William Miller of the number 40 coming off a podium finish at Indianapolis. He'll start alongside the driver who won the championship last year in USF 2000 from Brazil, Kiko Porto for D-Force Racing in that number 1 machine, the Road to Indy colored car right there in front of you on the screen. He gets ready to roll here right now from P9. 8th position, starting on the outside of row number 4, Jordan Missig out of Illinois in the number 19 for Pabst Racing, the AMV Ventures Racing for Mental Health entry. Jordan Missig in the 19 starting 8th. Alongside him, his teammate at Pabst Racing, celebrating a birthday today, the number 27, Colin Kaminsky in the Slick Locks machine, former pole sitter here in the Freedom 75. Watch for Colin Kaminsky to try to put himself forward very early on. Going to row number 3 now on the outside, a winner already this year, the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Early in the season, late February, Josh Green out of Mount Kisco, New York in the number 3 machine. The Session Guardian Zimperium Turn 3 Motorsports car, Green starting in the 6th position. Inside of that row, starting P5, multi-time winner in USF 2000. Watch for him here as well. Yuvan Sundaramurthy out of Delafield, Wisconsin in the ST Motorsports Pabst Racing entry. The rookie starting 5th in the number 18. Row number 2, it'll be Nolan Siegel, our point leader, coming in here from P4. A couple of wins this year for Nolan Siegel at Palo Alto, California. Siegel in that number 8 in the Town Ford race for RP machine. Siegel, the rookie, starting 8th alongside an impressive young Brit out of the UK in the number 90 for exclusive Autosport. First time ever on a road course. He was on the podium in St. Petersburg. His first time getting a race win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He got that done 2 weeks ago. Second in points by just 3 markers coming into this race. Louis Foster, the rookie in the number 90 for exclusive Autosport, has taken to this oval well. He'll start P3. 15 drivers in the field. Let's go to the outside of the front row because it's Juncos Hollinger Racing. If you're following Callum Eilert on Sunday, watch for these 2 drivers here, those Juncos Hollinger cars. It'll be Anam Ahmed on the outside of the number 47 to London, England, carrying the flag of Pakistan on the side of that car. A very impressive driver, former world karting champion, British F3 champion. He will start second in the 47. But the driver who started on pole last year battled it out with Christian Rasmussen for the race win. Unfinished business for the kid out of Miami, Florida. The Ticket Clinic sponsor machine, the number 55 of Reese Gold, starting on the pole position. It'll be Gold and Ahmed on row 1, Foster and Siegel on row 2, Sundaramurthy and Green on row 4, Kaminsky and Missig on row number 5, Porto and Miller row 5, Prokachik and Alba row 6, Brown and Eves row 7, and Finelli on row number 8. So, folks, time to get things underway with the drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. Drivers, start your engines! 250 horsepower, inline 4-cylinder. Every one of these engines built by the 1998 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year, Steve Knapp. He and his son Logan, and Elite Engines, the Knapp engine building program for decades. Primary partner and part of the Road to Indy family. They build all our engines for Indy Pro 2000 and USF 2000. These things crank out horsepower. More downforce, more braking, more grip, more horsepower, more of everything from USF 2000. We're ready to do it again. 90 laps. Reese Gold, definitely, folks, with unfinished business. Led from pole, if it weren't for some lap traffic that he didn't quite approach correctly, allowed Christian Rasmussen to dive in on him to take the spot. He would have been a race winner last year. I think he's going to be tough to beat here today. This kid has grown up here on the road to Indy. A couple years in USF 2000. He was only 14 when he first started. Kid is ready to go here now. All right, field will pair up 2 by 2. Pace car dropping the throttle, getting down into the pit lane. Gold and Ahmed on row 1. Foster Siegel row 2. These drivers just 2 steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series and the Indy 500. Oval 1 for them. They'll be back at Gateway later this year. Out of turn 4. Gold, green, green, green. Reese Gold and Anam Ahmed cleanly through 1 and 2. How about 3 wide coming out of turn number 2 as Colin Kaminsky going to the bottom of the racetrack. What does he think? Josh Green sends it in the top, and around the outside goes Jordan Missing as well. Good opening lap for Missing, as all the way to the bottom is Kaminsky. He almost got pinched down there. Missing onto the top side of the racetrack. He's going to see if he can't go around the outside of Josh Green. That's actually the number 8 in Olin Siegel on the bottom. He gets a pretty decent run coming out of the corner. Kaminsky still down in the bottom. Now it's Jack William Miller trying to go around the outside. Kaminsky tried to get a good jump, see if he could get on top of somebody. Couldn't quite get it done. There's Foster having to deal with Josh Green right now. Louis Foster in the Copart exclusive Autosport number 90. The British driver out of Basingstoke, United Kingdom. First couple of laps going in the books cleanly. Everybody's settling in right now to find out what kind of a race car they have early on. Foster quickest in practice earlier today. Let's see what Reese Gold can do out front. Foster going to the bottom. He's already thinking about Anam Ahmed. That little bit lower to get some air on the wing. Here comes Foster to the bottom of the racetrack. Have a look at this. Battle for second. Foster posted up a little bit. Car just kind of loses that mid-corner grip, but he pedals it back down. He does not want to see Reese Gold pull away here. Send a shout out to Steve Wittick from TSOladder.com and Trackside Online back home watching here on Road to Indy TV, dropping some nuggets for me. I mentioned Steve Knapp, the engine builder here, the 1998 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. Also a winner here in USF 2000 himself a number of years ago. Steve dropping me the unofficial points as well that we got that showed Michael D'Orlando having a pretty nice little sizable gap. There's second place running Anam Ahmed. Third is Louis Foster. Here's your running order here on lap number 6. Reese Gold leads. Anam Ahmed runs in second. Third is Louis Foster. Fourth, Josh Green. Fifth, Nolan Siegel. Sixth is Jordan Missing. Seventh, Euban Sooner-Amurthy. Eighth, Jack William Miller, but he's getting pressured, as you can see there, by Colin Kaminsky. Kaminsky goes high, coming mid-corner, stacking up Salvador de Alba in 10th, Kiko Porto 11th, Braden Eves 12th, Wyatt Prokachik 13th, Jonathan Brown 14th, and Charles Finelli 15th. That's Eves and Prokachik going at it there. There's your leader. Reese Gold out of Miami, Florida. This is Kaminsky and De Alba. Salvador De Alba, his first year in the open wheel cars here on the road to Indy. This guy's got a ton of experience running the NASCAR Mexican Series, road course NASCAR programs with Jourdain Andretti Motorsports. So this guy's got a lot of experience on the road courses, but in big, heavy stock cars. Really getting a good feel for these Indy Pro 2000s. Was able to finish second and eventually get the victory at Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. That bottom side's tough. Kaminsky's trying to hold on. They are going to go side by side right now. De Alba on the bottom. That's tougher on the tires to run the bottom. We've seen this in years past. If you're down in the bottom, you're committed to try to make it that pass and can't get it done, you're burning them tires up. De Alba's got Kiko Porto right there as well. tucking back in. There goes Porto now to the bottom. Porto trying to take advantage of De Alba checking up. And the Road to Indy Scholarship car, last year's USF 2000 winner. He'll go on the offensive now. That's the fight for 10th. 1.2 seconds to lead for Reese Gold up the road. That's Braden Eves as well in the number 4, right behind Kiko Porto. So Kaminsky, De Alba, Porto, and Eves, 9th back to 12th, almost nose to tail. Eves trying to look to the bottom of the track here now. You'll see the drivers run a half a car width lower. Instead of being right on the gearbox, you want to run a half a car width lower. You got to get that left wing and the end fence out into clean air. You got to have that fresh air, that clean air rushing over that front wing to get that front wing to plant. Otherwise, it's useless. You get in that corner without the air on the front wing, no downforce at all. The car goes out of aero balance. It just wants to skate up the racetrack. You're putting a lot more wheel. It starts to get that oversteer, or the understeer rather, to push up the racetrack. That is absolutely killer here at Lucas Oil Raceway. You lose all your momentum. So you got to keep that car just a little bit in, a half a car width lower. You'll see the drivers do that all night. USAC midget cars will be up next. Looking forward to what should be a tremendous midget race. And, of course, the capper of the evening, the USAC Silver Crown cars running for 10 grand. These drivers, not 10 grand tonight, but how about over $650,000 at the end of the season? The champion here in Indy Pro 2000, winning the scholarship to move to Indy Lights in 2023. Last year's champion, Christian Rasmussen, running really strongly right now for Andretti Autosport. This is the driver who wants to get it done. In fact, all of them do, but Reese Gold would like to see himself jump up the order. He was 11 points back coming in. A win here, though. Points and a half. 45 points on offer for the race winner. Normally, it's 30 points to win. Reese Gold already with the bonus point for qualifying on pole. He gets past lap number 45, 46. That's bonus point for most laps led. Could be a big day for Reese Gold. He's out now by 1.6 seconds. You know how the storyline plays out, though. We can talk all we want until they come to lap traffic. Then things starts to change. Really tough to get the job done in lap traffic. Anam Ahmed has Louis Foster chasing him as well. Last time by, Foster's a little bit quicker than Anam Ahmed, about a 10th. That's Ahmed in the number 47. His first weekend here, first experience at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Started the season last year, ran the first 3 events. St. Petersburg, Barber, and the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the budget ran out. The team actually stopped running that he was with. RP Motorsports stopped after Indianapolis. This is his first time here, and I think it shows not only how great of a driver Anam is and his talent, but also the car that's been developed by Juncos Hollinger Racing. They have done a tremendous job on this particular platform. We know how good Reese was last year. They're both super strong. They're the best 2 cars in the field right now. Maybe throw Louis Foster in there as well because, again, he top practice earlier today and has really kind of picked it up himself. But the Juncos Hollinger cars are dynamite right now. Anam, again, as I had said in the intro, this guy has a really impressive list of championships. And I'll throw this one at you. If you're a Formula One fan, hopefully if you love IndyCar, you're here for USAC, whatever it may be, you can watch a bit of Formula One. He was the World Karting Champion the same year as Lando Norris. Lando Norris, I believe, won the Senior Championship that year. I think, pretty sure that Lando won the Junior Championship the same year as Lando Norris. And then Anam as well, British Formula 3 champion a couple of years ago. This guy can get the job done in a race car, and we're thrilled to have him here with us. He loves racing here in the U.S., just a tremendous young man. He's one you want to meet in the paddock for sure. Just a great character, polite, kind, just a model of a young man, and we're thrilled to have him with us, as I say, running for Juncos Hollinger. This is a guy I'd love to see find his way up into the NTT IndyCar Series. He's that kind of calm guy outside the racetrack, or at the race car, but when he gets into the cockpit, you just know how focused he is. He'll show the aggression when he needs it, I guarantee it. Charles Finelli, I believe, was already parked the number 83 machine. He's into pit lane already. He showed really good lap times in practice earlier today. It was only about a 10th off some of the drivers further back in the field. But I think electing to park it here early. Look at this scrap right now. Okay, let's pick this up here and follow this for a bit. This is Yuban Sundaramurthy, Jack William Miller. Whoa, the number 6 of Salvador Alba rolling up. Colin Kaminsky's going to go to the bottom. Kiko Porto's in there. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. This is a great battle to follow right now. This is a good fight. Miller up into 7th. He's able to get the pass done on Sundaramurthy. Colin Kaminsky's been committed to that bottom line quite a bit, has he not, throughout the day or throughout the evening. Back down to the bottom on Salvador de Alba. Just a couple of laps ago, they were the other way around. We got a battle up here, though, for second position as Louis Foster trying to get by as well. Louis Foster to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going after Anam Ahmed. Colin Kaminsky trying to get this job done on Salvador de Alba. Well, what a scrap. Oh, Foster's actually backed up a little bit. They are starting to come through lap traffic. This is where it's going to start getting really interesting. Kaminsky to the bottom on de Alba, alongside his teammate now, Sundaramurthy. Yuban may have a bit of an issue. He's backing up a bit here. He's lost a couple of spots. Yuban to the top side, and both de Alba and Kiko Porto have got by, so you wonder if there's an issue here for Yuban Sundaramurthy. They're leaving him in their dust. I expect he'll go to the bottom of the racetrack soon. No, he's still up top. Reese Gold now, just behind these guys coming through. Gold trying to come through the drivers in, 5th, 6th, or rather 13th, 14th, 15th. Yeah, Gold able to get by Wyatt Prokachek. That's 13th. Gold to the bottom now of Sundaramurthy. That'll be for 12th. Here's side by side with Jonathan Brown on the top side, the Irishman for turn 3, Anam Ahmed down to the bottom. Josh Green closing up behind Louis Foster as well. Foster trying to get a feel for it. He'll go to the bottom. He's going to get by Jonathan Brown. And I'd said this in USF 2000. Once the leader goes through, a little bit easier for everybody. They're all lapped down now. They know it. They'll give it up a little more. Sundaramurthy falling down, as I said. Some kind of an issue for Yuban, I think. He was up in probably 7th. Foster not able to get the job done on Sundaramurthy. He loses a little bit of ground. You can see the gap now between 2nd and 3rd. That's Anam Ahmed, left side of your screen in the 47 on the Juncos Hollinger Racing Machine. Right behind him, the Copart Exclusive Autosport Pattis IP22 for Louis Foster. Anam doing a pretty good job getting through lap traffic. And in fact, only about a second behind his teammate Reese Gold. Everybody fighting that lap traffic right now. Gold closing up to 3 different drivers now. 4 different drivers. Porto, de Alba, Kaminsky, and Miller. Foster ready to challenge. He's trying to make that move to the inside of Braden Eves. So Braden Eves getting lapped as well. Gold, Ahmed, and now Foster will go to the bottom. Eves running in 11th. Now this is Reese Gold, I believe. Yeah, he's got by Kiko Porto. Porto's going to run the top side again. Better run out of turn number 2. Gold on the bottom. Kiko not giving up. Do not go gentle into that good night. Kiko fighting on the top side. But Porto giving it up as Reese then comes across the bow, getting the call from the spotter clear. Clear high, rolls back up to the top. Fight now, I believe, a little further back in the pack, watching that one between, let's say, they're trying to pick this one up here on screen. That's a side-by-side fight. The 8 of Siegel, as he's trying to go around Jonathan Brown. That's another lap car. So, hey, this is the leader up front. That's Reese Gold. There's the teammate, Anam Ahmed. He's going to try to get by Kiko Porto. They're closing. 38 laps down, still a long way to go. Almost 51. 51 laps to go still. Gold's having some trouble getting by the 6 of Salvador de Alba. This is what makes these races so exciting in terms of how the drivers are able to work their way through lap traffic. Yeah, it's only 4 corners, but it is such a razor's edge as they dance throughout the evening. Car feels great up top. I'll run around the top all day long, but when you have to put that car back down to that bottom where you tighten up the radius of the corner, you're asking so much more from everything. Ahmed closes. Can he make short work of De Alba to potentially close up on Reese Gold here? Gold goes to the bottom now of Jack William Miller. That will be for 8th. Gold trying to lap up to P8. Both Junco's cars in the screen. How far back is Louis Foster as well? Man, they are essentially passing these lap cars. Synced right up. Open racetrack for Gold a little bit. There goes Ahmed in the 47. Foster about a half a second back. He's now working his way through as well. Ahmed, though, he wants that first win. Reese Gold already with the victory on the season. Oh, see, mid-corner wiggle there. Correction for Ahmed coming out of turn number 2. You see that a lot here. 2 and 4. They're just asking so much of the front tires. When it starts to break loose, they've got to make that correction. Those Cooper tires at full adhesion. They're rolling back on that throttle. They want to get back to full throttle. And the car just not quite wanting to transition. And here comes. There's the payoff. Little bit of a run by Louis Foster back down to the bottom. That is shoe 4. Anam Ahmed has let Foster go to the bottom. Does he get the job done? He's side by side coming across start finish to the inside. Book it. He'll roll back to the top of the racetrack. Louis Foster goes to 2nd. Foster taking full advantage of the minor miscue. And look at Foster rolling up here now. Does he have a better long-run car? Halfway point of the race. 45 laps down, 45 to go. Foster to the bottom. Louis Foster going to the lead. He's going to set the pick up top as well. They're almost side by side. Can't quite get it done. Oh, Foster was so close. He'll get a good run down the back straightaway. They've got a slower car, and I believe Colin Kaminsky up front. He's just got to hold the bottom here, and he's going to get this job done. Foster on the bottom again. Fight for the lead in Indy Pro 2000. Foster winning the last race. Most recent victor, and he's down to the bottom. First ever time on an oval for Louis Foster and the Brit, trying to bring home a victory for Exclusive Autosport. He's down the bottom. Again, it's that car at Kaminsky that's going to be the deciding factor. If he's able to keep him up, he's going to be able to get down to the bottom. He's just trying to keep Reese Gold pinched up top. A classic pick move coming up here for Foster. He knows it. He's just got to keep Gold up top. And once he goes to the bottom, it's going to be done. He's got it. He's gone to the lead. Louis Foster to P1. What a drive for Foster in the Copart Exclusive Autosport number 90. He's checked out. You know his spotter's telling him now, dude, you've got lots of room. We're good. Take care of the Coopers. Wow. That may be the best 10-lap mid-race run I've seen. But now he's got to take it to the end. Did he burn up the tires? That's the thing. Did he push too hard? He wasn't down to the bottom side that much. It really wasn't like a 15, 20 lap side-by-side battle. Maybe 5 laps, 6 laps. And he has gone P1 and 1.4 out. He's checked out. Louis Foster working with one of the highly rated engineers in the Road to Indy paddock, and maybe the motorsports paddock on the whole, John Hayes. John has worked with a number of different organizations that I know of myself. PR1, JDC, Newman Walks. Been with Exclusive Autosport for the last couple of years. This squad, Exclusive Autosport, winning the team championship last year with Artem Petrov and Braden Eves. Single car effort for a couple races this year. Barber Motorsports Park. They started a technical alliance helping out Miller Vinatieri Motorsport. Yellow flag flying. We've got a yellow. Yellow flag is out. Unsure why at this point, but the yellow flag flying as Louis Foster will slow it up with a massive lead. Colin Kaminsky coming into pit lane. Not sure what's going on here in terms of what's going on. We'll try to see if I can't get understanding here. Being told potentially a driver brushed the wall, and I would have to believe it would have been Colin Kaminsky as he brings that Pabst Racing entry in. Wow, what a couple of laps and what a drive there, folks. If you're in the grandstands here and eyeing that number 90 of Louis Foster, what a performance he put on there from about lap 44 through to now lap 54, a 10-lap run where he was able to get by both Hunko's Hollinger racing cars, Reese Gold and Anam Ahmed. Josh Green taking advantage as well. He's moved his way into third. So let's give you a full field rundown while we can here now while the cars are slow. Louis Foster with the lead in the number 90. Reese Gold runs second in the 55. Josh Green third in the number 3. Anam Ahmed fourth in the 47. Then it's Nolan Siegel in the 8 and Jordan Missig in the 19, Missig up to 6th now. Kiko Porto in the 1 were on 7th. Salvador de Alba and Jack William Miller in the 6th and 8th, the 40 and 9th. Braden Neves in the 4 rounds out the top 10. Jonathan Brown in the 2 and 11th. Colin Kaminsky into pit lane. An issue, as we said, for Yuvan Sundaramurthy potentially. He's into pit lane as well in that number 18 car. Wyatt Prokopchik runs 14th, and Charles Finelli was out of the race after 11 laps. So our first yellow flag in, I want to say, let's count it up, 236 laps. We went green to checker in the last 2 years of the 290 lappers. So I could say probably 235 laps of green flag racing. A driver touches the wall, that's it. We're going right back at it. 34 laps remaining, right? 34? Yeah, 34 laps to go in a 90-lapper. And he'll punch off Louis Foster out of turn number 4. We're back to green flag racing. Josh Green immediately going to work to the bottom of Reese Gold. Green, as we know, was closing up on Louis Foster. He'll go back to the bottom. This is absolutely perfect for Foster out front. Green fighting with Gold will allow him to stretch away. Just what he needs. Josh Green, though, wants to get himself back in this championship fight. He's down in 8th position. A second-place run here would be big for him to bring him back up into potentially the top 5. Foster gets a lead of about 0.6 of a second out of the gates. We'll go 30 laps to go. Next time by. Into the final third of this race for Indy Pro 2000. Louis Foster rocking and rolling to the top side. Average speed last lap 117.8 miles per hour. These guys are booking it around this racetrack. Yeah, you think about this, what happened, just a couple of years ago, this was Pato O'Ward going at it. Connor Daly, Renus VK. That's where these guys were plying the trade, learning the racecraft. Foster's lead now almost a full second. The exclusive Autosport Caddis IP22 dialed in. Great second half pace. I always find it so intriguing how some drivers pick up this discipline so quickly. I talked to Kyle Kirkwood. We had an oval clinic on Thursday morning with Kyle Kirkwood, Christian Rasmussen, Parker Thompson as our expert panelists. 4 wins among those 4 drivers, or 3 drivers rather. And Kyle talked about the fact that before he came here, he said, yeah, it's just driving in circles. It's a bunch of left turns. Until he dove into it, until he found out the really serious intricacies of what it takes to be fast on an oval. Just such, the fact that during a test session, practice session, you're out for 2 laps, you're back in, adjust. Couple laps back in, make a change, work on the balance. It's such a fantastic discipline where a driver can really, with his input, make such huge changes. Found out that after that first race, he fell in love with it. Absolutely loves running ovals, and I hear that from a lot of drivers on the road to Indy. I didn't think I'd like it. I don't know. I was kind of scared. Get that first race in the books, and they absolutely love it. And again, look at USF 2000. We've had 3 straight green to checker races. Everybody always worried about, always big wrecks in USF 2000. You could wreck a car. Last 3 years in a row, we've gone green to checker in all our main events. We don't wreck cars. That's one of the beauties of this road to Indy. We have talented drivers who respect each other, respect the track, and respect the equipment. That's what's so great about the program and what differentiates us from other racing series that a young driver can select. Good fight there. That's Jack William Miller and Braden Eves Dyson, I believe. Or is that Miller to the top side? That's actually him trying to get, I believe, fighting here with Jordan Missig. And that's Missig on the bottom, Jack William Miller on the top. Missig actually is a lead lap driver. That's the key right now. We only have 6 drivers in the lead lap. Let's bring that in. I haven't really brought that up yet. With that yellow flag, we kind of reset the deck. Only 6 drivers on the lead lap right now. Louis Foster, Reese Gold, Josh Green, Anam Ahmed, Nolan Siegel, and Jordan Missig. And let me give some props to Jordan Missig here right now. The best of the Pabst Racing crew here. And Missig has never been on an oval before. Colin Kaminsky's been on the pole here before. Sundar Murthy has got lots of experience here at this particular racetrack. Kudos to Jordan Missig. What a great drive, a mature run. He's able to get by Jack William Miller, and I'm telling you, this is big for Jordan Missig. Driver from Shanahan, Illinois, AMV Ventures, Racing for Mental Health, the sponsors on the race car for Pabst Racing. And Jordan Missig looking great here right now. This is Jonathan Brown on the bottom side of the racetrack. Top one of the J. Howard Driver Development cars. Can't quite pick out the number on the side of that car quite yet. I think that's Braden Eves. That'll be the fight for 10th. Brown goes to the inside. He'll take that spot. That's a race for position. They're a lap down, but Jonathan Brown has gone into 10th to move both turn 3 motorsport cars into the top 10 as Josh Green now running 4th. Anam Ahmed able to get back around Josh Green, so Ahmed, who had lost the spot, gains it back. 19 laps remaining. Foster's lead 3 seconds. Ahmed going to the inside here. He's side by side. That's a great battle right now. That's the fight, I think, for 3rd and 4th coming down the back straightaway. This is it right here. Look at this fight. That's Josh Green 3rd, Anam Ahmed 4th. This is probably the best battle on the racetrack right now. And growing in behind him is Nolan Siegel, your point leader. Louis Foster would take a massive point lead if he gets this race win with Siegel back in 5th. Ahmed took the position back away. He's got to dial things back in here. Look at this. Looks like Josh Green shot out of a cannon having to get that pass done. But what it really is that when you get past and if you make a mistake and you have to get out of the throttle, you're not just going to lose a spot. You're going to lose a lot of track position. If you're in 2 and you have a bit of a moment where you've got to get out of it and then roll back in, you lose so much of that momentum down the back straightaway. It almost takes a full lap to spool the car back up again. That terminal velocity that you're trying to roll around this racetrack. As I said, top speeds, 118, 117 mile per hour. They're dropping down a little bit now, of course, as drivers working through lap traffic. Oh, there you go. A bit of a moment there for Nolan Siegel. It closed right up on the gearbox, lost the air off the front wing. Immediate understeer. Car wants to push up to the wall. And it's the job of the drivers to save it. And save it in an instant. You don't even know when it's happening. All of a sudden, car starts to skate up. You put wheel in it, maybe get out of it a little bit. And see how that's gapped again. Same kind of gap we saw that Anam Ahmed lost to Josh Green. Very similar to what we just saw Nolan Siegel getting out of it, losing a lot of ground there as well. There's Ahmed coming down the front straightaway, running P4, pardon me, right now, ahead of Nolan Siegel. There's Siegel right behind him. 13 laps remaining. 13 to go in this Freedom 90. And there's the 2 J. Howard Driver Development cars fighting it out, nose to tail. They'll go side by side down into turn number 1. 12 laps remaining for Louis Foster. I don't think we've got really any good battles on the racetrack right now. So let's pick up the leader, because we've only got, as I said, 12 laps, making 11 laps to go for Louis Foster in that number 90. You never know how a rookie driver is going to perform when you take him to a racetrack like this one here. And maybe we would have a little bit of an indication, because going to St. Petersburg at the start of the year, that very challenging concrete canyon street track, Louis Foster had never run a temporary street circuit before, and he immediately took to it and loved it and was on the podium both races of the doubleheader. Didn't have a feel for Barber Motorsports Park until the very kind of end of the weekend. Talked about the fact with me that he struggled in qualifying, getting the most out of the Cooper tires right when they got to their sweet spot. That's something that he was going to learn. Of course, we go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he is fast out of the gate. Couple of mistakes. Actually, one mistake, got taken out in race 1, a mistake in race 2, clears that out, wins race number 3. So did we have an indication of how good he would be when he got here to Indianapolis Raceway Park? Maybe not so much an indication, but it probably shouldn't come as such of a massive surprise. Exclusive Autosport has won here many times. They've won here in USF 2000 with Parker Thompson. They've won here in Indy Pro 2000 as well with Daniel Frost. They've had success here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. What a run so far, 2.4 seconds, the lead here for Louis Foster. Across the line once again to put lap number 83 in the book. 7 more to go for Foster. This would give him a strong lead in the points. Big for the team as well, as Exclusive Autosport will be moving their shop and breaking ground in a new facility here in Brownsburg. This will be the home for Exclusive Autosport, who has teams in the F1600 Championship Series, USF 2000, and Indy Pro. They have an Indy Lights car in the shop. Anybody who wants to go Indy Lights racing, there's a car in the shop ready to go. Join Indy Lights. They were lined up to go racing Indy Lights this year. The driver all lined up as well, but funding just didn't come through as expected. But Michael and Kimberly Duncalf have done a tremendous job with this program. Team champions last year in Indy Pro 2000, as I had said. 5 laps to go. Louis Foster leading by 2.8 seconds over Reese Gold. Josh Green runs in 3rd. Anam Ahmed 4th. Nolan Siegel 5th. Final driver on the lead lap, Jordan Missing. A tremendous run for Missing. Kiko Porto 7th. Salvador de Alba 8th. Jack William Miller 9th. Jonathan Brown in 10th. Braden Eves 11th. Yuvan Sundaramurthy runs 12th. He's 4 laps back. Wyatt Prokacek 6 laps back. And Colin Kaminsky and Charles Finelli both out of the race. 4 laps to go for Louis Foster. This is when you just want to keep focused. And this, to be honest, folks, we haven't talked about fitness at all. This is a tough race car to drive, and this is a hard track. These drivers, at the end of this 90 laps, are going to be beat. And this is when all that work you do in the gym, all those push-ups, all that cardio, all that hardcore workouts that you do on your neck, on your upper body, allows you to stay focused. It doesn't just hold on to your duration and allow you to have that stamina to get through to the end, but the stamina is what allows your focus, your mental focus, to stay sharp. That's what separates making a mistake in the last couple laps and bringing it home. White flag, I believe, going to fly from Aaron Likens this time by. Can Louis Foster win 2 in a row? 1 at Indy and dominate the month of May? Foster through 1 and 2 in the Copart Exclusive Autosport number 90. Down the back straightaway. No one close. 1.1 second the lead over Reese Gold. He's out of 3. He's out of 4. Keeping it down to the bottom. And the winner in Indy Pro 2000, the Freedom 90, is Louis Foster. Double checkers from Aaron Likens, and Foster has won at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. 1.4 second the lead over Reese Gold. The Exclusive Autosport crew rejoicing on pit lane. Josh Green finishing in 3rd. 3 different teams on the podium. Exclusive Autosport, Juncos Hollinger Racing, and Turn 3 Motorsport. What a great race. Louis Foster, midway through that run, lap 45 to lap 55, passed both Junco Hollinger's cars impressively, using that bottom line, able to use a pick on Colin Kaminsky to be able to get the job done What a tremendous run. And there's the exclusive Autosport crew right there, folks, on screen. They are pumped. Look at that. That's the emotion. You guys see it in all the USAC events. You know what it means to the USAC drivers. Same here with the Road to Indy. These guys are so excited. And the work you put in, of course, to be able to win races like this, all the money that goes in, the time, the effort. It's a lot of money to run these cars and to campaign this program. And Louis Foster, who worked hard to learn these Cooper tires and how to manage them in qualifying. He is his engineer, John Hayes, really digging in on the data to kind of get an understanding of what he was able to do. And he is just kind of finding his groove right now. And I'll tell you, that makes things tough for the rest of the field. This guy is rolling. Foster with the win, Gold second, Green third, Ahmed fourth, and Nolan Siegel rounding out the top 5. He's coming out of the car, folks. He's traveled all the way from England to run this year, and you can see it. There's the sigh and the elation of the victory for Louis Foster. Crew rolling in. Foster will take a significant lead in the points with what has been a great run. Here's your rundown. Foster with the win, Gold second, Reese finishing in that P2 spot for the second straight year. Josh Green in third, Anam Ahmed fourth, and Nolan Siegel fifth. There's John Hayes, as I said, the engineer, brace with his race-winning driver. Siegel fifth, Jordan Missig, final driver in the lead lap. A tremendous run for Jordan Missig, the best of the Pabst Racing drivers today. Kiko Porto ends up in seventh. Salvador de Alba in eighth. Jack William Miller and Jonathan Brown rounding out the top 10. Braden Eves 11th. Yuvan Sundar Murthy 12th. Wyatt Prokachik 13th. And Colin Kaminsky and Charles Finelli rounding out the field. Both those drivers electing to park their cars. 11 laps for Finelli, 52 laps for Colin Kaminsky. Exciting racing for sure here. And as I said for USF 2000, 3 straight green to checker races. Only 1 yellow for about, maybe 2 laps, 3 laps here. A driver, Kaminsky, brushing the wall. The AMR safety crew wanted to make sure that we didn't have any debris on the racetrack. Right back to green very quickly. We have had just 3 years of just tremendous racing. Lots of side-by-side action. And as I said, midway through this race, Louis Foster putting on a clinic on the bottom side of the racetrack as he made it work. There's Dad, all the way over from England himself. I love to see that. He is pumped. Big victory for Louis Foster as we're halfway through the program here now. Reese Gold coming over as well. He is a tremendous young driver, Reese Gold, I'll tell you. Foster, Gold, Green. Top 3 drivers. So again, everyone down on Victory Lane. We'll get them ready to fire things up here. So again, trying to dial things in for Victory Lane. We know we've got the midgets getting ready to fire things up. Silver Crown race still to come. We got some celebrating to do for the drivers here in Indy Pro 2000. Again, as I said, 3 different teams on the podium as well, and that's something we like to see. We have such parity in the program. As you guys know, spec chassis, everybody on the Tatis IP22 chassis, the spec engines that we have from Elite Engines, spec tires for Cooper. It all comes down to the teams and the drivers to be able to get the job done. And again, that's all part of developing these young racers to work their way to the NTT IndyCar Series. Again, those of you tuning into the Road to Indy TV app, my name is Rob Howden. Great to be here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. It's what's been a fantastic evening so far. Track crews, kudos to them for getting this track dried after the rain did finally subside. And we've got, of course, some great USAC racing for you this evening as well. We'll get our Victory Lane fired up when we can. Always a little hard to corral the drivers after they've worked their way up here. Super excited, of course. Wanted to do some celebrating with the crews. Midget drivers getting ready to fire things up. We'll be rolling those guys momentarily, of course, getting our drivers into position so we can get things underway with our podium presentations. car, Louis Foster, getting taken back. I think we're almost ready to go and pass out some hardware for the Cooper Tires Freedom 90. And indeed, folks, we are ready to go down at Victory Lane. Let's get things underway. Presenting our trophies here today, the Senior VP for Anderson Interior Contracting, Steven Anderson, and he'll get started by presenting the third place trophy to number 3, Josh Green. Josh Green finishing third spot today, put a ton of pressure in the battle between he and Anam Ahmed. And again, Steven Anderson will present him with the trophy. Thank you, Steven. He'll handle all 3 of our presentations today. Again, a name to watch for sure, folks. Coming home in second place today from Juncos Hollinger. Raising a round of applause for Reese Gold. Number 55, Reese Gold. 2 pole positions, couple second place runs. He'll want to finish on the top of the podium here soon. Driver getting the victory, though. What a mid-race it was. 10 laps where he was able to go by everybody and go to the lead. Second straight win in the series. The Englishman for Exclusive Autosport. A round of applause for your winner, Louis Foster. Big win for Foster, winning at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, then here at the iconic Indianapolis Raceway Park. Yeah, hands probably are a little sore. Tough racing, but you know what? That P1 trophy kind of gets those pains to subside a little bit. Again, Foster's going to take a pretty nice little point lead into Road America in 2 weeks. But again, Louis Foster, Reese Gold, and Josh Green on the podium today. The champagne, of course, will fly here momentarily. And that will conclude what has been a tremendous couple of races. And again, can't say enough about our young drivers on the road to Indy and the respect that they show every time we come here to Indianapolis Raceway Park. Side-by-side racing, giving each other room. Again, no contact, no wrecks at all here today. Just that one brush of the wall that the AMR safety crew wanted to look at. Let it rip, boys. Champagne flying. Louis Foster, back-to-back wins. He's a victor at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And yeah, boys, celebrate it. He wins today here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Once again, your podium, Louis Foster with the win. Reese Gold in second, Josh Green in third. A tremendous race in the Cooper Tires Indy Pro 2000 Freedom 90. Folks, thank you so much. Those of you tuning into the Road to Indy TV app or on our YouTube channel, we do appreciate it. Big thank you to everybody from Anderson Promotions, Cooper Tires, and the Road to Indy, and of course everybody here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park as well. We're back racing again in 2 weeks at Road America, the iconic track in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. If you want to follow more of the action, make sure you download the Road to Indy TV app. Everything we do, live timing, live video, all season long to follow the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. It's been great to be here at IRP once again. Thank you so much, folks, for allowing us to be part of the Carb Night Classic. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
Did you know that if you're stopped by DUI and refuse a threat or blood test, lose your license for